So a big shout out to Janet, who is our GM of the Singapore Press Club, who has been orchestrating the logistics and all the orders and everything, and contacting all of you. I think you're all familiar with her. And of course, Prem Koman, who has been a long-time Press Club member, as well as the person who has been liaising with Chef on this, and Selina Oh, who heads our Social Plus committee as well at the Singapore Press Club. Singapore Press Club turns 50 this year, so we of course had hoped and planned for a big bash, in June, which was the 50th anniversary. Unfortunately, we can't all meet together, but in the meantime, we continue our lineup of events. There are talks, there are online dinners like this, and of course all kinds of gatherings. There's another one tomorrow as well. If our members, if you've already received the information on the talk, which Janet will give us some more information about later, please sign up if you haven't already. Now, without further ado, I'll just move on to just introduce Chef. Chef Milind Sovani is a well-known name in the restaurant circle here. He cooked for Prime Ministers Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi, and Bollywood A like Amitabh Bachchan. He is, I have known him for, I don't know, more than 10 years now, when he was at Rang Mahal. He just blew me away with his palak paneer, his deconstructed palak paneer. I was filming at Rang Mahal, and that's when he brought out a few dishes. So then he has been associated with some of Singapore's finest Indian restaurants, such as Punch and the one Michelin-starred Song of India, where he was the founding chef, and of course Rang Mahal, where he has served not just one stint, but I think one or two. I think he can, I think more than two. Or more than one stint anyway at Rang Mahal. Yes, 2 stints at Rang Mahal. So Chef, yes, tell us later. Please tell us what brought you back to Singapore. And of course, Rang Mahal, some of our longtime Press Club members will also fondly remember as a place where we used to gather at the first location where it was started, at the Oberoi Hotel off River Valley Road. So lots of lovely connections there, and lots of happy memories as well. Chef Milind's latest initiative is Masala Bar, which is a fun, fine food concept at 723 East Coast Road. Do check it out. I've been there a couple of times. I love the vibe, and I love the drinks and the street food. And he is coming up with all kinds of very interesting ideas to make the street food fun and quirky. And some of those dishes are actually in our dinner set tonight. This evening, of course, we have our non-vegetarian menu and our vegetarian menus, and I think I will now hand it over to Chef to tell us a little bit more about himself, his career, his food, and his philosophy, and how to eat some of these great dishes that he has prepared for us today. Over to you, Chef.
Thank you so much for your kind introduction. And I would.
Hi, Chef. I just wanted to say hello. Patrick is joining.
Yes, Pat. Here's Pat, our Press Club president. Sorry, I was screen sharing and I can't actually see everybody's face, but now I can. Pat is our Press Club president, and we have several management committee members here with us today. Bachman Singh, who's also a Press Club vice president, plus our GM Janet, Selina O, and see if I hope I haven't missed anybody. I'm very sorry if I have, because I can't see everybody's names here. But yes, welcome to this dinner delivery event. And Chef, now please tell us a bit about what brings you back to Singapore.
Okay, good evening, all of you. And first of all, wish you all a very happy Diwali. Maybe it was a little late than the Diwali actually was, but I think Diwali is a festival of lights and a festival of good hope that should go around for all the year. And the cheer, with now good news coming in of 5 people can dine in a restaurant. So I think that is good news for everyone, and especially for the F&B industry also. So wish you all a very happy Diwali. Thank you so much for having me over on the Zoom meeting and giving Masala Bar the opportunity to bring my dishes to your home. And I sincerely hope that everyone has received their food parcels intact and in the right shape. So let's hope for the best.
It's so delicious that my kids are all waiting for me to go up and join them.
I know. Indian food, the aroma is so good.
Yes.
It's not very easy to guard the temptation. So your question as to actually Singapore is my home now, because I came to Singapore 2002, and so I really don't feel I've come back, but it's my home. So now India is no more my home. So 7 years between 2011 to 2017, I was out of Singapore because I had started few restaurants in India. But honestly speaking, the food culture of Singapore the open attitude of Singaporeans towards trying new cuisines, accepting new cuisines, exploring new cuisines is so overwhelming, and so much that I loved since my stint here in 2002, that I felt that I belong more to Singapore than to India now. And that's why in 2017, I came back. I had a small stint with Rang Mahal for 2 years. And being a chef who has always being independent in wanting to do something of my own, because a creative person needs the liberty to do what he wants to do. So I guess that is the reason how I came out of Rang Mahal and started on my own. I do an innovation company called Chef Milind's Innovation Center, where I help people develop new dishes, new menus. I'm into cloud kitchens now. So I have launched a new concept called Biryani Bar by Milind Sovani. So people at home can order Chef Milind's food without going to the restaurant. And obviously Masala Bar, which is my new venture. So I think this is a short introduction. Yes, there have been many, many interesting incidents in my life as a chef. I was the chef to the Prime Minister, to Bollywood stars. I have served President Nathan, Lee Kuan Yew, all the greats of Singapore. And I had lucky stint at Song of India, My Baby, which is now a 1 Michelin star restaurant. So coming to today's menu and today's, or rather Masala Bar as a concept, I'm really thankful to the entire press fraternity and the media in Singapore, that in 2002, when I came to Singapore, the image of Indian food was much associated with Apollo banana leaf, roti paratha, fish head curry, and there was a little bit of North Indian food here and there. But the modern Indian food, or the concept of Indian food in a fine dining setting that I wanted to propagate, was so ably supported and encouraged by the entire media and the Singapore population, that I could do a lot of work on Indian cuisine and get Indian cuisine to a fine dining status where it is in Singapore and people can enjoy. But I thought, after doing so much of fine dining, Indian food, the heart of Indian food lies in the streets of India. So the street food of India is actually a day-to-day food of most of the Indians, whether it is Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta. So I thought I'll get the street food concept of India to Singapore, but the streets in India are not so hygienic, and our beautiful country is the most hygienic country. So I thought I should get the Indian street food in a more clean, more stylish, and more contemporary style than the traditional style. And that is how Masala Bar does present its street food in a contemporary style. So I do a little bit of twist here and there, which people can enjoy, because now I, after 20 years, really understand the palate of Singaporeans and the people who love Indian food in Singapore. So that is how the menu at Masala Bar was born. And when Mr. Prem and your team met me at Masala Bar for the Diwali dinner, I thought of creating a menu which is a blend of street food as well as the so-called North Indian food, because, you know, Singapore very interestingly identifies Indian food as North and South. Though I always say that India is such a big country, you can't divide it into North and South. There is North, East, South, West, everything. And I myself, people think I'm a North Indian, but I'm from Mumbai. So I'm a West Indian, actually. So I think that is how the menu has come out. So I hope today's menu, I'll quickly break up into 3 elements. So we have 2 starters. So everyone should have 2 containers. One, a Panipuri container, which is same for the veg as well as the non-veg. Yeah, the Panipuri shots. And Panipuri shots, I would elaborate a bit, is perhaps the most loved street food of India. You can go to any part of India and you get a Panipuri shot. Somewhere they call it puchka, somewhere they call something else, but everyone loves the Panipuri. And you'll be surprised, in last 7 to 8 months since the time I opened Masala Bar, I feel as if I am on a mission of promoting Panipuri or teaching Singaporeans how to eat Panipuri. So most of the videos of how to eat a Panipuri have gone viral on my Instagram account, because it's such an enjoyable act of eating the Panipuri. So I think after I share the menu, I can share with you how you should eat it. So the second item for the vegetarians is a Paneer Dandy. And again, Paneer Dandy is not a very typical Indian dish. It's more like a vegetarian satay where I have colored bell peppers and homemade cottage cheese in a unique marination and pan grilled. For the non-vegetarians, I have done a Murg Malai Tikka. But as I said, I normally do a twist or a little bit of fusion to each of my dish. So the chicken tikka has got a little bit of homemade basil pesto, which has got Indian spices and basil and cashew nuts. So this is a chicken tikka, but with a basil enhanced marination. Then in the main course, you have everyone loves butter chicken. So I couldn't have done Indian food without butter chicken. But I call it a revamped butter chicken because instead of using sugar, I normally use Manuka honey into the gravy. It gives a very unique sweetness and not too sweet, but adds that very flavorful honey taste to the gravy. Then I've done a mutton dum ghost biryani, wherein the lamb and the rice cooks together. So you get a authentic dum ghost biryani. Because biryani is one dish which in Singapore has various variations, right from the way it's spelled to the way it's cooked and to the way it's served. But the authentic Indian biryani is normally rice and lamb or rice and chicken is cooked together. And that is the art of making a beautiful biryani. So we have a mutton biryani. And instead of serving a typical North Indian curry, I have created the yellow color in a bento, the curry that you see. It's called a Salan Curry. So Salan is a very Hyderabadi style of curry, which is made out of peanuts, little bit of cashew nuts, sesame seeds, coconut, and it's a very interesting curry which goes with the biryani. So it's like it's a marriage of North Indian biryani with a South Indian Salan curry. That is the way. And then we have done a raita or a yogurt, which is cucumber yogurt. But normally raitas are not tempered. But this variation of raita is tempered with desi ghee and cumin. So it adds a different taste to the whole yogurt, and the yogurt becomes a little more elevated. And then you have a same plain naan to enjoy your butter chicken. For the dessert, we have ras malai, which is our homemade cottage cheese discs, which are soaked in saffron enriched milk. And surprisingly, I was surprised when Janet shared me the order, and I found that the people having mocktails are more than the people having cocktail. So I thought most of them will be having a cocktail, but I think 80% of them are having a mocktail. So I think mocktail is a virgin mojito, and the cocktail is our masala bar special Indian infused cocktail. So it's a saffron royale. So it's a saffron based cocktail, which I think one of the gentlemen already had started enjoying it. So I think that is the menu in short. For the non-vegetarian, instead of butter chicken, we have a paneer butter masala, which is in a similar curry, but with a cottage cheese. So I guess that is what the menu is. I would like to ask, has everyone tried Panipuri? Or is someone new to Panipuri?
Anyone new to Panipuri? It is so much fun. And if you go to Masala Bar, you get to taste the alcoholic version.
Yes.
Spiked.
I call it intoxicated. Intoxicated.
It comes in a
Panipuri.
shot glass, you pour it over there. Oh yes, Chef, could you explain how to eat the Panipuri?
Yeah. So though because our kitchen is
I just explained to my daughter.
Okay. No, I could not do this video in our kitchen shoot environment because it's too noisy with all the kitchen sound. So I had to be away from the kitchen. But I have got some puris for you. So I think that is the puri that we have. And I think in your packet that you have got, you will have 4 of these puris, and you'll have 2 containers. One which is the stuffing, and the other one is the liquid or the shots, the pani, which is supposed to go. So I would say this puri maybe has 2 sides, one slightly thicker and one slightly thinner. So you should maybe look at the thinner side, and either in India, they normally just punch it with a thumb, but with a spoon or a fork, you can make a insertion like this, an opening. So you can make an opening inside the puri, and then you can add in half a teaspoon of the potato stuffing and stir the liquid that I have given you, pour it inside almost to the brim of it, and in one go, you have to eat the pani puri.
Yeah.
The Melinda is already chopping away on it.
You got to pop it into the mouth.
Yes, I think.
I'm still waiting for my food.
Bachman,
I'm still waiting for my food.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I think the beauty of pani puri, I always say people who are new to pani puri, the first pani puri is a overwhelming experience. So people for a minute or two think whether they want to have the second one or not. But it's such an addictive taste that after a few minutes, when you get over all the tears in your eyes and all the coughing, then you realize, no, this is so tasty that I need to have one more and one more and one more.
And one more. It's addictive.
Yeah, it's addictive. And I think the whole fun of pani puri is not only the mixture of the flavors, it's a burst of flavors in your mouth, which is the sweetness, the sourness, the spiciness, But the beauty is the crispiness of the puri and the liquid inside. I think that is what the whole fun of a pani puri is. And you'll be surprised when at home I do a pani puri. My daughter tells me I should buy 50 to 60 puris, and just that day there is no dinner at home. Each one of us has 25 pieces of pani puri, and that's it. That is dinner.
No, it's delicious.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's like the Indian equivalent of the pai tea, because we love filling up our kueh pai teas with the filling, and this is so addictive. I just keep popping them. What a great idea.
Anything else you would like me to share?
Any questions? Does anyone have any questions for Chef? While we, he's here and got his presence.
No, in India, when you have this pani puri, at the end of it, they ask a little more liquid, a little more water, and then just gulp it down.
Yes.
There's tamarind in the sauce,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
No, because this water is made out of a lot of healthy herbs and cumin. So it's actually, though it's a little bit of spiciness in it, but it's a good digestive also. So it's got a jaljeera kind of a taste to it. So it's a good digestive drink too. But now in India, there is one more new thing that has happened. Is at the end of all your 6 or 7 puris that they serve and the water, they serve you a dry puri. So this is like something, because sometimes people find it too spicy. So just to reduce the spice level, they'll give you a puri which is stuffed with some dry bale inside. So that kind of, helps you cool down a bit.
Haslinda has a question.
Chef, is there any difference in terms of the filling of puri across different parts of India?
In terms of the water, not really. But in terms of the stuffing, yes, many places things do change. Like there is a huge community, which is a Jain community, who generally won't eat onion or potato or garlic. So for them, normally a sprouted moong or sprouted beans are stuffed inside the puri. In few places, they add bundi, which is those round lentil crispy balls. They are stuffed also along with the potato. But 90% of the places, potato remains the staple stuffing. Sometimes they also add the chickpeas, the boiled chickpeas. But potato remains by and large the most popular stuffing with the spices.
And do you actually make them thicker on one side and thinner on the other? And how do you do that?
No, it's not by design. It's not by design. But because when you slide it into the hot oil, the first part that puffs up eventually always remains the thinner part. Yeah.
It's really yummy. I've had 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of my favorite dishes there. Yes. Are there any other questions for Chef?
Not a question. I just wanted to say I'm really glad that, I'm also from India, and when I moved here and, living here for the past 10, 11 years, the thing is that there were lots of traditional Indian restaurants or the Singapore Indian, cuisines. It's very exciting to see these fusion, the new concept of masala bar with the fun elements of Indian food incorporated, and the menu look is quite exciting. So I just wanted to say that it's refreshing. It feels like Delhi has arrived, So yeah.
Thank you so much. And there's because I'm a chef for last 36 years now, and I always feel that I don't only teach the masses, I myself keep learning a lot of things as time goes. And the one thing I learned from the new generation is the food. We always, as a chef, I always believe food has to look good before you eat it. But one new thing I have learned in last 3-4 years is your food has to be Instagrammable also.
Exactly.
So everything has to be Instagram friendly also.
I remember this, you were not talking about Instagram, but when I first interviewed you, Chef, so many years ago, you were saying you wanted to change that impression of the food, because Indian food is curries. It's not the most sort of it's not the most photogenic kind of food. It's such a flavor bomb in your mouth, but it just doesn't photograph very well. And I remember that palak paneer I was talking about, it was a reverse palak paneer, because you make the paneer, and then you used it as like a roll, like a Swiss roll, and then you put layer of of course, very yummy palak on top of it, the spinach paste or mix. And then he rolled it up and then he sliced it. So it's like you get a pinwheel of palak paneer, which totally blows your mind away because everybody just thinks of palak paneer as a green blob.
So I almost used to refer it as palak paneer sushi. So it was like a sushi roll, and the paneer was inside the, the palak was inside the paneer roll. Yeah.
So tell us, where are the trends in India headed in terms of fine dining cuisine? And are you bringing any of that here? And what does the scene like look to you in Singapore?
Honestly speaking, over the years that I worked in in India, and even today, what happens is, people are generally attracted towards the cuisines of other countries or other regions more than their own. So there's a lot of work that happens in India on Chinese cuisine, Thai cuisine, Mediterranean cuisine, and Chinese, which is interestingly Indian Chinese, and various other cuisines, but not so much of hard work goes into doing something new with Indian cuisine. So I believe most of the modernization, or I would say improvisation of Indian food, has happened more in countries like Singapore, UK, USA to some extent, and things like that. Yeah.
And scene here, how would you describe it right now? I mean, it's hard because we can't go out and eat like regularly and as much in big groups. But of course, you're also in the Singapore Chef Association, right? You're the secretary.
Yes, I'm the secretary.
So what's the vibe now, and where do you see all the bright, talented chefs? What are they doing? What they're working on?
Most of the times, most of the well-known chefs or star chefs or Michelin star chefs, they always interpret any food it's their interpretation of that cuisine. And I've seen the recent trend of most of the chefs, whether they originally belong to Sri Lanka or to France or to Brazil, their cuisine not necessarily is from their hometown or for their home country. It's their interpretation of a French cuisine or their interpretation of some Western cuisine, because Western is considered more hep than Asian cuisines. So, but I'm a little different as a chef, and I always feel that my interpretation still has to be of Indian cuisine. I don't want to do French cuisine which looks like Indian. I don't want to do Indian cuisine which looks like Italian. I'm a little different as a chef from that. As a chef, I want to keep my food Indian. I might do a variation. I might do a modernization. I might do progressive Indian cooking, but I'll still use Indian elements. I'll still use Indian spices, but I will make it attractive for today's generation. That is what my take on Indian cuisine and my food is. Yeah.
Yeah, we probably have time for one or two more questions.
No, just wanted a quick comment on what Trev said. If you go to Delhi, if you go to a South Indian restaurant, most of the patrons, there would be people from Punjab, for example. And if you ask them what's your favorite food, they'll probably tell you, surprise, sambar. So it's like, it's totally it's not their food that they're craving for. They're craving for some outside the region,
Exactly. And one thing I was just sharing, how the menus are evolving in Singapore. When I started Vansh or Song of India or Rang Mahal, I'm now finding that the expat Indian population or even the expats coming into Singapore are not necessarily from same towns or cities, which earlier used to be that mostly they were from the bigger cities in India. Let's talk about Indian expats. But now you're getting Indian expats from various different smaller cities, smaller towns in India. So their expectation of Indian food is very different than the only North Indian impression that the people had earlier. And, masala bar is playing on the nostalgic value of food. I want to bring back the nostalgia. If you lived in Pune and if there are two dishes which are from Pune, you will feel going to masala bar and having that dish. So masala bar is a very heavy menu on nostalgia. So people from their own city, their own town should feel, oh, I've come back to my town to have this dish. I think that is what masala bar's Indian food is.
And for sure, because whenever I go there, I see so many Indian expats all enjoying themselves and going down this, nostalgic food trail again.
Yes.
Last question, because we need to wrap up and people want to dig into the food. What is your latest? What are you working on? If you can share give us a few hints at what you are going, sneak preview of what you're doing.
Well, masala bar concept is such that every 6 months to 1 year, I'll be changing the menu. So I'm always working on a new menu because I always believe that reinventing myself is more important than doing anything else. So my new menu is underway now. So there will be a new menu launch soon. But at Masala Bar, every month we keep doing a new cuisine or a new dish. So sometimes it's a kolhapuri chicken, sometimes it's a pinda paratha from Punjab. So next might be a dal bati churma from Rajasthan. So that might be on the menu at Masala Bar. And as I was saying, because after COVID and even before COVID, things have changed in the culinary world, in the hospitality or food business, and cloud kitchen is or takeaway business is really growing. So I will be working 30 to 40% of my time more into cloud kitchens and creating concepts which can be food which can even be enjoyed at home. Yeah.
There you go. You have Chef Milind always at the frontier and now into cloud kitchens as well. We did actually, in the course of organizing this event, we literally stumbled upon the biryani bar and Chef Milind's latest cloud kitchen concept. And, you know, I asked him about it and I next met him talking about all these specials. Prem and I headed down to Masala Bar a few weeks ago and we enjoyed very much the hoppers special, the Sri Lankan.
Yeah, the Sri Lankan special.
So you know, there are all these interesting specials that Chef Milind will just pop up every once in a while. So do check it out and do check their website. Is it or Facebook page? Which would be the better place to visit?
I think both are good, but Instagram and Facebook are more updated.
Okay, so there you go. Check out the Instagram and Facebook pages for what Chef Milind is cooking up for us. I think this leaves me now to wrap everything up and thank everyone for coming. Thank Chef for curating this great meal. I can't wait to dig into my meal too. And welcome everybody to of course, this event. We're at the Singapore Press Club. If you'd like to know more about what we do, please check us out at pressclub.org.sg. And you know, we're very happy to answer any of your questions if you would like to join us. We have more fun events like this in the good pre-pandemic times. We have trips. Our India trip, that's where I first had Indian Chinese. Chef talked about how Indians actually like Chinese food very much, and that was my first sort of experience to Indian Chinese food, which was quite eye-opening because it's nothing like what we imagine Chinese food would be. But again, a very cultural experience. So yes, the Press Club, we do goodwill missions like this to India. We've gone to Estonia, we've gone to Kazakhstan, Oman, with Romania, China, India, Pakistan as well. Prem was on that trip too, which was a very rare opportunity for an Indian national to enter Pakistan. And again, we enjoyed the food there very much. And Urdu and Hindi are quite similar. So that was also quite an interesting experience. You could actually communicate with the stallholders and people in Pakistan. So that was very eye-opening to all of us. So thank you everybody for coming. We'll wrap this up now and enjoy your dinner. Thank you, Chef, and then thank you everyone for attending this session. Goodbye.
Thank you and bon appetit to everyone. Please heat up the food in the bento so you'll enjoy it the most.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chef. Thanks, Junie and Press Club.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Bye, Janet.